Hey everybody, Nick Espinosa, your chief security fanatic here, and today we got to talk about your AI girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever you're into online romantically. As long as it's AI, it's a privacy nightmare. Now, Matt Burgess of Wired had a really good write-up on this, and quite frankly, I think this is the next frontier of data mining and data privacy issues. It's basically a complete mess. So here's what's going on, because Mozilla, basically their foundation, did an analysis of 11 basically so-called romance and companion chatbots, and they just published this report this past Wednesday, and Lord, if I'm talking about it, you know it's a problem. Now, collectively, these apps, which have been downloaded more than 100 million times on Android, is where they were looking at data mining or analyzing, because Android is an open source platform. These apps are gathering a huge amount of your data. They're using trackers that send information to Google, Facebook, and companies in Russia and China. They're also allowing users to use weak passwords and also lack transparency about their ownership and the AI models that power them. Now, since OpenAI basically unleashed ChatGPT onto the world about a year and a half ago or so, developers are racing to deploy large language models on absolutely everything, including chatbots, so that people can interact and basically pay to subscribe to this. I have a lot of thoughts on the issues with this longitudinally, but let's stick with privacy. Now, the Mozilla Foundation research provides a glimpse into how this essential gold rush essentially may have neglected people's data privacy, and also into tensions between emerging technologies and how they're both gathering and using our data as well. It also indicates how people's chat messages could be abused by these companies. And if you're sending your sexy thoughts to China or Russia or something like that, that's obviously a concern given the lack of legal recourse that you would have for data privacy in those countries. Now, many quote-unquote AI girlfriends or romantic chatbot services are essentially very similar. They often feature AI-generated images of women that can basically be sexualized, that kind of thing. Mozilla's researchers looked at a variety of chatbots, including large and small apps, some of which purport to be quote-unquote girlfriends. And again, I've got thoughts on that too. Now, other of these apps offer people support through friendship or intimacy, or allow role-playing and other fantasies as well. Quote, these apps are designed to collect a ton of personal information. That's according to Jen Kaltrider, the project lead for Mozilla's Privacy Not Included team, which conducted this analysis. And to continue, Ms. Kaltrider's quote, they push you towards role-playing, a lot of sex, a lot of intimacy, a lot of sharing. So that's obviously a huge issue. Now, as an example, screenshots from the EVA AI chatbot show text saying, quote, I love it when you send me photos and voice, and also asking somebody if somebody is, quote, ready to share all your secrets and desires, end quote. Now, Kaltrider also says there are multiple issues with these apps and websites. Many of these apps may not be clear about what data they're sharing with third parties, where they are based, or who creates them, adding that basically some of these allow you to essentially log in using weak passwords, and others provide little information about the type of AI they're using. Is it ChatGPT? Is it another model? Et cetera, et cetera. Now, these apps analyzed basically all had different use cases and weaknesses. So, for example, Romantic AI, which is the platform, is a service that allows you to, quote, create your own AI girlfriend, end quote. Promotional images on its homepage depict a chatbot sending messages saying, quote, just bought new lingerie, want to see it, end quote. Now, the app's privacy documents, according to Mozilla's analysis, basically doesn't say says that it won't sell people's data. But the researchers, when they tested the app, also found that it, quote, and this is insane, sent out 24,354 ad trackers within 1 minute of use. That is nuts. That is a huge amount. Now, Romantic AI, the app, like most of these companies highlighted in Mozilla's research, did not respond to Wired for comment. Other apps monitored had hundreds of trackers as well. This is the problem that we have. And I think this is essentially preying on the longitudinal issue we've had thanks to social media and the rise of the internet, which is the isolation that many are feeling. We are not really socializing the younger generation, and I'm talking about Gen Z and now Gen Alpha, in the way that, let's say older millennials, Gen X and older, were socialized, meaning we have a legion, at least here in the United States, of very non-social, angry young men. And so if they can't find dates, we have an entire incel movement, involuntary celibate. We've got shooters that fall under this category. This has been wrought by social media. We are no longer getting together. So like when I was growing up in high school, if I was interested in a girl, I had to get through her father, right? I had to meet them in person. I couldn't have a completely online relationship. But what this is offering essentially is the false persona of a human relationship that, quite frankly, can literally go nowhere. Meaning you're never going to meet the person, in person, because the person doesn't exist. It's artificial intelligence just using algorithms to try to get you to give up information, say sexy things, fulfill your fantasies, whatever it is. This is a serious problem. And if we are looking at this longitudinally in terms of the human relationship and socialization, basically what happens is it gives essentially a wrong understanding of how a proper functioning relationship should work between two people, man and woman, man and man, woman and woman, whatever the combination is. You have to learn how to interact with everybody. But if your AI chatbot girlfriend never argues, never talks back, is completely subservient or submissive to what you are, AI girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever it is, you basically have this weird outlook as to how humans should interact in a romantic relationship. And if you actually get into a relationship with an actual human, the concept is bad. A lot of people have said this about adult content as well, given that obviously it's very stylized and there's, the how sex is basically portrayed in pornography, for example, is a lot different than how it really is, because we're not all playing with cameras in the bedroom, but you have this weird understanding of what it is if that's what you grew up with, and here we are. So I think this is a real issue longitudinally, and so on top of the data mining, issue that I just talked about, this is, I think, a bad move for just the pure understanding of mental health for anybody that's going to be using this, falling in love with this, and quite frankly, not wanting to do anything else but talk to the AI instead of human interaction. That just pulls us further and further apart. But these are data mining you. They're doing tens of thousands of trackers, at least in one app. The transparency is not there either. This is a huge problem. So all I'm saying is we need to take a good hard look at AI regulation, but we also need to take a good hard look at socialization as well, because quite frankly, we need to be getting together in person, and it's just not happening. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And please feel free to subscribe me at YouTube as well. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, everybody.